Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to do the chapter review for Congress. Make sure you understand Article 1 and why we believe Article 1 was Article 1, that the framers really wanted to set Congress above the other two branches of the government. Make sure you understand what bicameral is and that each state has 2 senators and that the number of representatives is determined by the state's population. Make sure you understand the requirements for membership in the House and in the Senate, and that members have to be legal residents of their state. Make sure you understand what apportionment and reapportionment means. The redistribution of the 435 House seats after a 10-year census. Redistricting, of course, is the redrawing of district boundary lines within one state. You should understand the shared powers of Congress, that pretty much it's legislative. No bill can become a law without the consent of both houses. But understand the other powers of Congress about declaring war, raising an army, establishing post roads and post offices, and particularly Congress's oversight, which we'll talk about at the end of this review. Remember that the House has special privileges also, that all revenue bills have to start there, and impeachment happens in the House. The Senate is responsible for approving all treaties by a 2/3 vote. All presidential appointments, except of course for the Chief of Staff and other White House aides, by a simple majority. And the Senate also tries the impeached officials to see if they can be removed from office. Again, powers of Congress listed in your book. Congress is organized by party. The majority pretty much gets to decide who the leadership is and how Congress is going to operate. The minority parties have some rights, not so much in the House, but in the Senate. The House is larger. Remember, it's because it's closest to the people. Originally, the House was the only branch of government that the people elected directly. The Speaker is the second in line for presidential succession, and of course, the current Speaker is John Boehner, Nancy Pelosi being the first woman Speaker of the House. The other House officers are the Majority Leader, Minority Leader, whips. Whips, again, are people. There are several whips in the Congress, in the House, for both the Republicans and Democrat, and they're your nose counters and the people who keep other members in line. As I said when we went through this originally, they're like the assistant principals of the chambers. There's the current leadership of the House. The Senate again is elected for a 6-year term. Each senator, 1 or 2 from each state. Senators have a little more breathing room when it comes to legislative affairs. Not having to run for re-election constantly gives them a chance to make poor decisions early in their term, but have enough time to recover. Senators also represent entire states, which gives them a broader perspective on issues of the day rather than the parochial perspective of a congressman. The Constitution says the Vice President is the presiding officer, and then we have the President pro tem, pretty much honorific, giving to the longest serving member of the majority party. True leader is the Majority Leader. The Majority Leader, Harry Reid, is not really as powerful as Speaker Boehner is in the Senate. Joe Biden is the President of the Senate. Pat Leahy is the current President pro tem, and then you see all of the other leaders of the Senate.